A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this collective reading. Here I'm going to be talking about an important message that's for all those people who are doing inner work and they're trying to change their current reality, or they just want to become the best version of who they are. They just want to understand all the concepts very clearly so that they can feel more peace, they can feel more joy, and they can just be and operate from their signature frequency. So let's get started and let's find out. Okay, so basically what's happening with you is that you've gone through some really bad situations, or you've been in some kind of miserable situation, suffering, you got betrayed, you got cheated on, or your career. I mean, there are different people going through different situations. Your career is not going to the same place or destination that you thought you would have reached by now. Or in your personal life also, things have not worked out the way you wanted it to work out. Maybe with family, you have some situation going on. Overall, what's happening with you is that whatever you're trying to do, you have got a very good idea, good intention, very, very fruitful. But every time you try to move ahead, every time you create a strategy to move forward in life, something stops it. And you think it's something invisible, or it's just a series of bad experiences. You feel that there's some kind of demonic presence for some people. For some people, it could be karmic situations. Now, whatever it is, some of you, so there's a big collective pool of people that I'm being shown right now. However, some smart, really smart individuals, some chosen ones have decided, or they took it like kind of very seriously, that they don't want to continue this way. And while doing so, they got really triggered. Of course, it's never easy to change, they say it. But once you change, once you cross over, once you've learned a lesson, then you can laugh at it, you can make jokes about it, you can, not feel anything about it. You don't feel anything about so many people from your past with whom you've made peace, or you've just come ahead in life. For example, when you were in school, maybe you were in 10th standard giving some very important answers to some important test papers, examination. You were so worried about what your future is going to be. 10 years ahead in future, that future version of you doesn't care about the past version who was sitting in the examination hall giving answers to some questions which you felt were so crucial that if you didn't do it properly, you're not going to make it. And in some cases, whatever you planned, even at that age or at that time, or whatever your parents planned for you, it never worked out. But here you are doing something better. But there are days where you actually feel that you're not doing good in life, you're not doing any better, or you have all these comparisons to make with other people, or maybe you had some kind of, a figure, a ballpark figure that by this time I'll be doing ABC, by this time DEF, by this time GHI, whatever. So, this is not happening all the time. This is a feeling, this is an emotion, a very negative emotion that makes you feel that you're going to be a failure, okay? And the intelligent ones, the chosen ones who are supposed to go beyond this, have figured out that they've triggered some thing, which they call a lacuna. They've been calling it a lacuna, or it's like a dark spot that they've not tried to figure out, like, why do I feel like this? Like today, I had shared a channeling, and the first comment I saw on it said that, why am I always targeted? So, this why am I always targeted, or why me? It's always happening to me. I'm the only one who goes through this. Imagine, it's so funny. Actually, lots and lots of people say the same thing, and yet they feel that it's only happening to them. They are the only ones who is experiencing this phenomenon, but so many people on the planet feel this way at some point or the other. When they're very sensitive, when they're very emotional, and the worst thing is there's negativity everywhere. So, what's happening? The next card tells me you are ready to move forward towards your goal. You have a clear vision of your goal, and you know that you're going to manifest it. When I say manifest it here, I mean you know that it's going to happen for sure. You have belief in it, you have faith in it. You also know that you're supported, you're guided. Everything is happening as soon as you make the decision that this is what you want. So, be it career, be it love life, be it your how you look, how you're gonna look. Like a lot of people online post their videos, their transition or transformation videos. They start from day one, and they actually manage to achieve their goal in a year or 6 months or 2 years. So you have decided. Now, I'm not being shown that you're literally on day one. You have made a lot of progress, because I do see the High Priestess card. You have, on many occasions, with the help of your gut, with the help of your intuition, figured out that every time you're making that leap of faith, or you're becoming less and less reactive, at least you want to be, you don't want to react, and you've mastered some things. I mean, it's like you want to master the reality, you want to be the master of your own reality. But if you're not able to control your own emotions, your own reactions, you really can't do that, right? So, the intelligent ones, people who resonate with this, you have decided that you're not going to react to whatever is being thrown at you. You're going to just watch it, because the more you react, the more it grows. And you've really touched this magical place where you know, where you know that the one who's standing on your path, blocking your path, is none other than your old self. Your old self is always ahead of you. Every time you try to move ahead, something from your past shows up. What shows up is either connected to a bad memory, a negative memory, or some kind of failure, something that reminds you that you're not good enough, you're not gonna do it. But it's coming via your old self. And let me tell you, you are a portal. Everybody is a portal, by the way. We are all frequencies. We are the frequency. We are operating at a certain signature frequency, right? So when you are creating this new version of you, which matches with your goal could be a difficult one, or at least for now you feel that it's not here, so I need to do something to get to my goal. Every time you have a goal like this in your mind, something comes up. It could be bad health, it could be some financial crisis, it could be like the same thing coming back and forth, doing back and forth. Maybe you win over it, then everything is fine for a couple of months. You feel that you've made a progress, you've reached somewhere, and then you really want to do a quantum leap, you want to make this radical shift, and something happens which makes you so angry, it triggers you so much. And then all of those things you hear again, your own self saying, why is this happening to me? Why am I always targeted? Why do I have to forgive these people? Or how do I ignore these people who never stop doing something or the other? Like these people, whosoever it is, or whatever the situation is, you feel that why don't they just go to hell and stay there forever? Why don't they just disappear? Why don't they stop doing something or the other? Or why some stupid situation not stop coming and standing at my door, knocking at my door, like, hey, I'm here again. You gotta deal with me, you gotta solve the problem again. You've understood that there's nothing, no one else who's creating it. It's your old self, that old version of you that's coming and creating all of this because it is scared to die. It is scared to go away because the old self of you knows it's like your sort of friend or companion, some kind of confidante. It is always like listening into you, hearing your plans. So whenever you make a plan that, you know what, I'm going to lose 10 kgs, and it says, really? Because if you're going to lose 10 kgs, I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to exist. So let me bring that old favorite chocolate ice cream of yours and keep it in front of you. If you really shift, if you really change, if you really cross over, that ice cream will not affect you, or you're not going to feel like eating it again. You're not going to feel like ordering it again. Maybe once in a while you want to relish it, enjoy it, but you don't even see it like enjoying. You feel like, I don't need to consume this every day or every now and then, or I don't need to eat a box of chocolate, or I don't need to overeat, or whatever it is. That old self has become weaker and weaker and weaker, and eventually it has to die, it has to go away. But I think it's the fear of the old self that it's gonna die or it's gonna not exist. But it's obviously into that, transformation process. It's merging into something, and it's becoming something else, and that's the thing that it doesn't know. The caterpillar doesn't know that it's going to become a butterfly. So the caterpillar might be scared and getting into a cocoon and saying like, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to turn into a butterfly. Tries to come into the path of the butterfly's transformation, but actually eventually what's meant to happen is going to happen. So if you're watching this video, if you're going through this experience, this is definitely not a coincidence. This channeling is the encouragement for you, or it is the information you need right now to outsmart the old version of you that's becoming or creating, that's becoming a problem, or creating all of these negative situations. Because see, when you have these negative situations, you're going to react more and more, because you're like, oh my god, it's not going away, it's not going away, it's going to happen again, it's going to happen all over again, I'm going to go through the same thing all over again. Oh my god, I cannot put myself through this situation or this feeling again. So that is the source of energy for this old version of you. So now you're standing against your own self. You're not fighting against the world right now. How to say goodbye to your old self in the most harmonious way ever. Now, one thing that you really need to understand is, why do you need to let go of that old self of yours? The reason is because the old self is operating from the old frequency, which is not the frequency that you want to be in anymore. And the only way to do is to free yourself from all of the material or the energy, you can say, or the behavioral patterns, or the generational curses, or the family dynamics, whatever it is that is giving support to the old frequency or the old self attached to the old frequency is flourishing on. And who can do that if not you? And you don't have to do it like physically, you have to do it in a very subtle way by going into your mind, because everything is literally happening in your mind. It's not like someone literally physically is sitting in front of you and saying, hey, I'm the old self and you got to deal with me. So whosoever I am channeling right now, you are here to break the chain. You don't want to be the person who is doing anything for the sake of validation. And you're not here to be stuck in the old frequency. You have to, and you realize that whosoever is resonating, please mention where you're from, your physical location, and your name. Put it on the comment section. Claim this energy of outsmarting the older self or any entities that are attached with this older self. So you're not gonna be stuck in the old frequency. And that's why you know that you have to detach, or at least you resonate with this thought. Either you fully know 100% about it, or you know that this is what you're leading to. You have to detach from whatever is troubling you right now, all the things in your head. Or in case you don't know exactly where to begin from, then also you want to simply detach from the fears. If you can reach to the point where you can write down the fears, like why exactly am I feeling this way? If I am miserable, I'm suffering, I'm emotionally drained, why? What is the fear that is driving me so crazy? Or what are the problems physically in your physical reality? What are the problems that are making you feel this way? And so, whatever is happening, all the fears that make you feel crippled or like a loser in life or the targeted one, you have to disassociate from all of that. You have to disassociate from your reality, the current reality, because that's not where you want to be. In a way, you have to be a badass warrior. Like, you gotta say no. This is not the warrior that goes all out and starts doing this or that. This is the warrior that says, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done with this. I'm not gonna get scared of you. So yeah, there are two type of things that can happen. Either when you say I'm not scared of this or I'm not scared of a person, you're gonna do something spontaneously. Or you're gonna have to not need to do anything at all. Just watch. In both cases, technically you are fearless and therefore everything is happening on its own. Basically, you don't have to care about whatever the negative voice in your head says to you, and you can choose whatever modality you feel is good for you. You can sit in meditation, you can take a bath, you can go out for a walk, whatever it is that you feel will make you feel relaxed. Or else, as I just said, don't do anything, just keep doing whatever you love. So, there are many ways to do it, but choose the one that makes you less and less and less sensitive. You have to basically desensitize yourself towards the social or public image of that old version that's causing all of this. Now, some of you could be worried because of lost time, lost money, lost love. I mean, there are some categories most people move into, one this, one that, or some like three, four of them. And then they feel really bad about it, like I lost the person I love to someone else, a karmic stole it, stole him or her, or I didn't do enough and now I don't have money, or business is not doing well, or job is not going anywhere, or I've lost time, I'm no longer that age where according to society, people are supposed to achieve this. Now, this is the weak version of you. This is the version that is attached with the society, which any which way is operating in a group frequency. Like they are not even on their own, they're not individuals, they're all huddled together to, I mean, just somehow exist. It's basically they are all in survival mode, they just know how to survive. And if you're going to be like that, then yes, you'll have to do the same things that they are doing. But of course you are not happy with those options. This is the four of cups energy. You don't like any of the options they're giving to you, and you don't like anything. You just want to take your time and you just want to chill. So whatever you lost, money, love, job, career, age, time, God makes up for it. So when you get what you're meant to get, or when you do what you're meant to do, the same things become inspiring for other people. Same things that you were scared to do, but you still went ahead and did it because you were like, I'm still gonna do it. I'm not gonna stop because of this fear. Other people are gonna think like, this is such a gangster thing to do. This is such a cool thing to do. How did you do it? How did you pull it off? Oh my God, I wanna be like you. That's because they didn't listen to the negative voice in their own heads, and they learned a way to outsmart their old version that's getting in their way. Now, one point that I can add to this, which can help a lot of people, I hope it does. Sometimes people feel like, how do I do it? What is the missing link here? Yes, I don't want to be worried about the lost love or the lost money or the lost time, but how do I do it? I don't know how to do it. Then I think you need to go within and you need to think about the voice, or whatever that feeling is, that emotion is, which is very powerful, that is making you compare yourself. So what happens is that when we feel we are lost on time, we've lost out on time or money or career or growth or beauty or whatever it is that you feel you have, we usually end up comparing ourselves with other people. And many a times we compare ourselves with those who did wrong to us. People who betrayed us, or people who are evil, or people who are not so nice, and we look at them and we go like, my God, they have it, but I don't have it. This person betrayed me, this person cheated on me or lied to me, yet they managed to find someone, yet they managed to do this, or yet they managed to do that, but I'm not able to do it. Why? And then it's like comparison, then it's anger, then it's like, God is not on my side. Why is God giving it to them and not to me? It's not a fair world, blah, blah, blah. So if you resonate with it, this feeling, then all those people who feel this way, they need to know that everything can change. And maybe those people are planted on your timeline for a reason, just to actually lead you to that point where you can realize that everything is possible. And once you figure things out better, you also know that someone who had to lie or cheat or take any shortcut, that person is not getting anything as such. They don't even have that feeling inside of them, that I did it in the right way. That's actually a very bad or a sad space to be in. The fears usually ride on the wave of comparison. So, yes, the path ahead of you, I mean, is clear if you don't get entangled with those thoughts. So, let the hesitation go, step through the path, let go of the fear of walking through. Nothing happens, literally, I'm telling you, it's all okay. Everything is happening any which way. So everything that stops you is because you're programmed to believe in what the norm says. So people forget that source, the creator, they forget that creator can do anything, and creator doesn't bother about these small little things. Creator doesn't believe in these things. And why would anyone get the high vibrational stuff, the lifestyle, the peace, if they don't want to let go of the low vibrational programming. So, in this regard, otherwise we say you should be united, you should be together, but in this regard, the originality, individuality, fearlessness is what God loves. The thriving attitude, not just being a survivor, but being a thriver. God loves that. And it's okay. Sometimes you have to survive in certain situations. Only then you learn these lessons. So when you're in the survival mode, you get the downloads and you figure it out, and then you can go in the thriving mode. Logically, scientifically also, the chosen one would resonate. If you keep a hand on your heart, you would resonate that to get the high vibe things, or to be in the high vibration, be in your signature frequency, which is connected with source, which is fearless, which is chilled out, you cannot stay stuck in the opposite, in the polar low vibe or negative thinking mentality. So, whosoever resonates with it, you realize that you need to watch your thoughts, because it may seem to you that you are thinking, but you could be listening to an entity, to a demonic voice, to some kind of negative energy. You're listening it like a mantra and you're believing it. Maybe it's 10 of them speaking together, or maybe it's one powerful voice that is speaking into your ears and telling you something that you should not believe in. If you believe in source, if you believe in light, if you believe in love, if you believe in higher self, you can call it higher self, the soul, source, then you cannot operate on limiting beliefs or this group dynamic, which is low frequency. A high group dynamic works. You can listen to masters, you can listen to people who have really healed, people who have this positive energy, because people who have this positive energy can speak about it. They can give you examples and they can literally receive that information, apply it, and then pass it on. But people who don't, they're going to do the opposite. They're going to keep telling you you can't do it. So this entity might be associated with other entities or other people or other voices as well, who are probably just mirroring it back to them. So if you believe in source, if you believe in God, then you need to understand that you're here to understand your soul, not sell it, not give it up for free, not just pass it on to others. You have to see your energy. It's like very precious, very precious. Your attention, whatever you pay attention to, it grows. It's a simple logic. I say this to everybody in my healing sessions. If you're going to keep focusing on it, it's going to grow. You got to let it go. If you want it not to grow, if you don't want negativity to grow, you got to let it go. Magician. I mean, in between, I really feel like pulling out a card, and it's amazing how accurate it is always with the theme of whatever the channeling is about. So, Magician is telling us you got all the resourcefulness, you got the power, you got everything: air, water, earth, fire, all the elements. And this kind of reminds me that anybody who has done anything cool in life, like anybody who's gotten out of their, patterns or their loops or their generational curse or whatever format, whatever simulation they were stuck in, they've always told me personally. Also, I've seen and I've read a lot of testimonies and I've met a lot of such cool people. I've worked with a lot of, celebrities, or I've worked with a lot of real celebrities also. And everybody's told me something similar. And it's crazy because it's so true that just before things are about to change for you, you always get into some challenging situation, some kind of negativity, just appears. something happens, that otherwise has derailed you in the past. But with practice, just when the time is right, just when it's divine timing, you don't react to it. That's the key. You don't react to it, and you don't have any doubt. You don't lose any faith. You, even if it's very big. So before a big shift, everyone speaks about facing some kind of trigger or a test or extremely negative situation, which in reality, this is a good point actually, which in reality doesn't have any power over them, but it it could be like, the illusion could be, oh, it's very big, you know what, you can't do it anymore, blah blah blah, something like that. People are out there to get you, or it's going to be a mess, and you're going to be in trouble, some kind of problem is going to be thrown at you, blah blah blah. So all the people who change their frequency or who do a quantum leaping usually ignore the negativity. They become very badass, they become like insensitive in a way, not dwelling into it, not even testing it out. Like sometimes it could be that you've done a lot of hard work, now you just keep cross checking it. Is it working? Is it working? Is it okay? Is it okay? Have I done it? They're not doing anything literally. They just act like nothing has happened, and they continue to do whatever they want to do. Now, this in many cases doesn't mean that you just sit and do nothing and just, so observation is always not happening by just stilling your body. It's about mental stillness also. You could be in a very like a fire situation, tough situation, something is happening, but in your mind you're zen, like person. You're like, okay, fine, it will be sorted out, and you continue to apply whatever solutions you have in your mind, whatever you're thinking of doing, you continue to put it into place, no matter what it seemed like in the outside or external reality. So if something was done spontaneously, like I just said, then too you keep living your life. If nothing is supposed to be done, then also you keep living your life. And you say, okay, fine, it is what it is. I think all such people, what they really do is that whenever such a situation is thrown at them, this is what the magician is all about. The magician, before the trick can actually work out, it does look like the trick may not work out or the magic may not happen, but it works out, it happens, the miracle happens. So they make a mental note of whatever the fear in their mind or the old version of them slash negative voice in their head is telling them to be fearful of. They make a note of it, and whatever it is, the statement, and they just know how to interact with it, like whatever, or we'll see, it is what it is, maybe it's right, maybe not, okay, I don't want to spend my precious energy into it, I don't want to invest my energy into it, my time and energy, my attention into this, it's not important for me. That's how high vibrational people are, okay? Now, this also applies to facing demons or entities. As I said, these entities or demons are obviously attached to the older self or the older way of thinking, the old programming, okay? A good demon slayer or a good exorcist usually does not entangle or fight with the demon. Yeah, we know we use the word demon slayer or demon warrior, but they don't do the typical things that people think in their heads they do. Like they'll start into a boxing match or a wrestling match with the demon. No. They don't even insult the demons. They don't go like, oh, you're a demon, you're so bad. They're more like, let's have a talk with each other. Because let's understand, it looks like a demon right now, but if you actually carefully understand it, it may not be a demon, because that's what the illusion is all about. It may just be a little puppy asking for help. Or maybe even if it is a demon, all right, it's a demon. Then too, you simply need to know, what does the demon want? What does the demon want? Right? So they try to understand it better. Why it's here? What's the problem? Maybe the demon just needs an assurance. Maybe it's a realization. Maybe just giving some, conversation, just chit chat with the demon. Maybe the demon just wants to talk and just feel a bit easy before leaving, I have a very good example, by the way. I mean, I can talk about exorcism here. Even if you watch horror movies, there are two types of exorcists that we usually see. One is this really nice and very calm, and the healer or the sort of spirit release therapist comes over there, and she or he's got their that the sage and all of their stuff, and it's a kind person, very relaxed, but actually it's a very sharp person, I would say. So now it simply has this conversation with the ghost or with the entity or whatever it is, says, look, it's fine, nothing's gonna happen if you cross over, don't worry, you don't have to stay here, this is not your realm, this is not your place. It's just telling that entity the truth, that look, this person who you have possessed, who's obsessing over these things, this person needs to go into a new frequency, and this is not going to be their home anymore. Therefore, this cannot be your home either. So any which way, you're going to be homeless. So why don't you cross over, and why don't you go away in peace? And look, if you need an assurance, nothing's going to happen, don't worry, stay relaxed. Sometimes they just relax it out. Whatever the entity is, they make the entity feel loved. Maybe that love is what someone is looking for at that point in time. That, all right, it's okay, this happens to everyone. Fine, nothing's, and maybe this is the truth. In many cases, this could be the truth. Now, then we have this really strong exorcist, the second example, who's this very stern, like, I'm not scared of you, here's the holy water, or here's the Ganga Jal, as we do in India. I'm not scared of your drama. They have this stick, and they'll beat that person with the stick, and they'll say, okay, leave this person, go away, you're not needed here, blah, blah, blah. So they act as that medium, that stern, that disciplinary figure, that someone who's got a lot of knowledge. So there are these people, who just know how to exercise demons, basically. And not only they do it for themselves, but they do it for others as well. They just know, they can tell the demons, the negative voice, the old version, that just leave from here. Why the heck do you want to stay here? It's not your frequency. It's just creating more trouble, blah, blah, blah. Now you can do it for yourself, is what this channeling, is collective reading is all about. You can be that person who can outsmart your old version. Maybe you do it yourself, or you look for someone who can help you with it. Both ways it can work. Maybe you need some hand holding. All right, I need a good person. I need a strong exorcist or a healer or a coach or a guide or a mentor or a psychiatrist or whatever. I'm going to go to that person, but you need to have that discernment, because you need to know, look, this is my problem. I'm scared of this and I'm not able to cross over, blah, blah, blah. Moving on, this actually means that you basically need to face it. That's it, in order to understand it. What's the issue? What's it like? Find the solution. And this always works like magic. Like this magician is telling us, just ignore, do not react, and still continue to do whatever you think you should be doing mentally or physically. I mean, it's all the same in a way. Now, One more example I'll give you before I close this channeling session. I'm not going to talk about big things. I'm not going to talk about manifesting a relationship or $1 million or Ferrari or nice house or whatever. You can actually do anything. But a lot of people are talking about manifestation without talking about these things. Okay, these points are very important. So let's say simple thing you want to feel peaceful at the end of the day. You're saying, I don't want to feel this way. I just want to feel normal and relaxed. Okay, you don't want to get bothered. So, question you need to ask yourself the question: can you feel peaceful, or whichever way you want to feel, by continuing to be your older version? Just ask yourself this question. All these things like worrying, being angry, sulking, complaining, blaming others, or blaming yourself. Some people are not blaming other people, they're blaming their own selves non-stop. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. You're so stupid. You're this. You're that. You're bad. You're okay. Fine. Fine. I was stupid. So what? What's the big deal? You gotta tell yourself, yeah, I made the mistake. I'm done with it now. So you need to understand that all these things don't work. They're not helpful in making you feel the peace and tranquility that you need to be in order to become the match to the new version or the new frequency where you want to be, where you think you can get closer to whatever you want to achieve. In my opinion, I feel strongly that peace is the thing. Like when you're completely confused, what do you want, what you don't want, what do you want to manifest? Because today you want to manifest something, tomorrow you don't want to manifest something. What really helps is to ask yourself the question: am I feeling peaceful right now or not? And what do I really want to do? I want to be at peace, right? So, faith is the missing link. Forgiving yourself for making the mistakes or feeling this way is another missing link. Telling yourself everything's gonna be okay and then believing in it is another thing that you can do. So, yes, when you know how to talk to yourself, you know how to tell yourself everything's gonna work out, just let it go. Now, I'm straight away gonna ask you a question. You've heard all these things that I've just said in this via this lovely transmission, this channeling, this collective reading, which is for the chosen ones here. You yourself can ask this question. You keep a hand on your heart and ask this question: what works for you? All these worrying, thinking, sulking, being angry, blaming others, blaming yourself, does that work? Or just letting it go works? Which sounds better to you? You can ask that question even now, okay? To simplify it, one more point, last point, I think, last or maybe penultimate. The old self has certain behavior patterns, characteristic traits, a style of living, a routine, maybe, good habits, bad habits, whatever. Basically, these are all chains, okay? These are chains that keep you stuck. The shackles, the chains, it makes a person remain stuck in that old programming, in the old way of living. Some of these bad habits, people justify them like, oh my God. It's like they can write a book on justifying why they do it. And frankly speaking, this collective reading may not be for those people, because this is really for those people who want to cross over and they've managed somehow to reach to that window of opportunity. They've created that space where someone can act like the medium or the bridge, but really it is your own self doing it. So you actually created this channeling, this collective reading in a way to help you understand or get the encouragement that you need. So it's actually you. So kudos to you. You did a good job. Thank you so much. You can thank yourself as well, right? All the things I spoke about just now, if you resonate with it, the positive things, of course. This can be your gateway of freedom. The entities also get power from fear. Fear is their source of power. What is the fear that's dragging you down? Right? You need to think about it. And love is what you need to cross over. Love is what you need to become a free person, a free soul. Faith, believe, this is your superpower, okay? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I chant the solar plexus mantra, I chant the Ram mantra throughout the day. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I am like, oh, wow, a really great person at it. Whatever I can, because again, I do feel that there is this beautiful, supreme energy that's working through all of us. So I'm really grateful to my masters, to Source, whatever they help me chant. They send me the reminders, they send me the content also to my way. And it's also a discipline that I follow. I feel from my own research that there are two types of people on this planet. One who have tons and tons of confidence and they just at it, and some have that confidence, but they need to work through it because they need to know about the two types of confidence. Not these two people, but two types of confidence. One is a superficial confidence that can come and go, but then there's an eternal confidence that never goes. And people who have the eternal confidence, they really like to do things for other people. They have a purpose in life, they have a mission in life. They're here to spread love, they're here to spread joy, they're here to create beautiful stuff, beautiful help for other people as well. So I believe that if you chant the solar plexus mantra, you could be believing in anybody. You could be a Kali worshipper, you could be a Shiva worshipper, you could be a Jesus believer. You could be anybody believing in any deity, God, or higher beings, spirit guides, angels, Archangel Michael, Raphael. You could be believing in anyone. We have so many gods and goddesses in India. We have so many gods and goddesses, and all of them are so beautiful. There's Ganesha, there's even Lord Buddha for those people who are not believing in Sanatan gods. But Buddha is also known to be one of the Vishnu's reincarnations. But solar plexus mantra, the Ram mantra, is literally such a powerful mantra. You only get to know about it when you do it. So I feel that anything, this mantra, that can help you unblock the most important nadi. So you have this Shushmana nadi inside your energy body. That's the most important nadi. If it stays blocked, nothing changes. But this mantra can help you unblock the Shushmana, and then you can have union between the Ida and Pingla. And what is Ida and Pingla? That is what twin flame energy is all about. It's a divine masculine and feminine within you. So the sun and moon within you, which usually for a lot of people is in separation mode. So we bring it together with the help of the Ram Bij mantra, the Ram sound or the Ram sound. Okay. So I've learned all these lessons thanks to my masters. All the credit goes to them. You can get my book also in the name of love. The spelling of love is LUUV. And it's available only on Kindle, Amazon Kindle. You can get it from there. It has 5 wonderful stories about true love. True love is what helps you ascend. You can also support me on Patreon for continuing to share these uplifting downloads and channelings for all of you wonderful people out there. You can get into a personal reading or therapy with me and work through all these patterns and loops, get the hand holding you need. I will see you in the next one. One love, peace out, and victory to Ram.